Of all the men to cheat, you picked John Kramer?
Please, don't hesitate.
Place a big enough piece of your cerebral tissue into the glass enzyme tank. This will save your life.
So sleep, silent
This is not retribution. It's a reawakening.
A sequel and a prequel, the continuation of the Jigsaw Killer. Bringing us back to the original trilogy that has defined the Twisted Games horror genre. Now resurrected from the dead, because it's a prequel, we will get to see once again the masterful John Kramer devising the elaborate death traps the franchise is known for.
I still have a lot of work that needs to be done.
Before we begin, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to be notified for future movie content. From Twisted Pictures, John now has a vendetta against the doctors who once attempted to cure him. Now he's keeping the blade and saws, but used as an instrument of torture. Taking place between the events of the original Saw and Saw 2, before Jigsaw's ultimate demise, he had one final chilling task in hand, to craft one last deadly game.
I want to play a game.
This is everything you need to know before Saw X. I'm sure we've all seen the original Saw, but here's a very brief recap. Adam and Dr. Gordon awaken chained in a shabby bathroom. Also lies a corpse with a gunshot wound to the head, holding a sinister message. Looks like he was playing a game, and just like Jumanji, we need 2 extra players. Adam's tape urges him to survive where Gordon's to kill the man in front of him. It's a death trap, and the clock is ticking. Desperate, both men hack at their chains, but the saws are meant for something else.
Wrong foot. Mother.
The name is Jigsaw, where we get a few flashbacks through the eyes of the detective after Jigsaw and his twisted games and torture chambers. The detectives search and discover Jigsaw's lair. Another chained victim and Jigsaw himself, though you don't want to play in this crazy house. Back to the present day, Gordon tries to trick his captor that he's killing Adam with a poisonous cigarette. But it was a fake. With Gordon's family at stake, Adam confesses that he was hired by the detectives to spy on Gordon, believing him to be the killer. Desperate to escape, Gordon saws off his foot, shoots Adam, and kills Zip, this pig-masked captor.
It's the rules.
It turns out Zep was playing a game too. Who's the real Jigsaw? It's the dead man rising, ending with the iconic line.
Game over.
The premise around Saw X dates prior to the events of Saw 2. Spoiler alert, John Kramer dies. But before he dies from brain cancer, he seeks an experimental procedure to cure him. The cost is $250,000. But it's all a scam, and he's not the only one. Looks like these corrupt doctors broke the dreams of other poor souls on their deathbed. Armed with a newfound purpose, the infamous serial killer is out for body parts. To make those responsible pay in the most gruesome ways imaginable. In Saw X, we will return to the dingy bathroom, and the vicious, deranged, but ingenious traps return. A trap called brain surgery, where the victim is forced to operate on themselves incarcerated to remove brain tissue without any anesthetics. Kramer's medical obsession allows him to create such mechanical but deadly traps. All this just to subject his victims to self-mutilation, which leads to the several we see in the series. All you need is a steady hand. Amanda Young makes her return. Kramer's apprentice. Remember, she was a victim and escaped the reverse bear trap strapped to her face. Jigsaw tested Amanda to earn her freedom by cutting open her cellmate, who was supposedly dead, but we know this is never the case. Now, John sees himself as a moral crusader, punishing those who don't value their life, believing through these excruciating tests they can find redemption and a new appreciation of life if they survive. The big if. This is the path Amanda takes, and she returns to help orchestrate Jigsaw's sentence, terrorizing the victims in a pig mask. Now, John wasn't always the sadistic Jigsaw Killer. He was a former civil engineer married to Jill Tuck, who ran a recovery center for drug addicts, with the tagline, "Cherish your life." But a violent patient led Jill to have a miscarriage. This was the catalyst that deluded the mind of Kramer into a psychopath, seeking the man who killed his son, trapping Cecil in a knife chair, where
They have to help themselves.
to get out.
Do this to yourself.
That if they can pass the test or win the game, they will be rehabilitated. That's not the case, but John believed he can help rehabilitate others, leading to once a brilliant engineer, now using the knowledge to build and create intricate and lethal traps. The gruesome games he presents require his subjects to piece together clues, solve puzzles to find a way out. Hence the name, Jigsaw. An extensive knowledge on medical procedures and practices, allowing John to design games to be lethal, but a chance to survive. A very small chance. Kramer's primary goal is not just to kill his victims, but to test their moral fiber, believing that most people take life for granted and don't truly appreciate it until they are faced with losing it. He designs his traps to force his victims to make life or death decisions. A twisted philosophy which lends to his cold, stern nature to enforce the value of life through their suffering. Now Kramer's life ends in Chapter 3. His methods of rehabilitation didn't work on many. But through the sequels, we learn about his many followers and disciples who share in his vision. Saw X returns on September 29th with the return of Tobin Bell to the role. With 10 movies in the series, the traps get more unworldly. But can they really be more sadistic than some of the traps we have seen in the series?
I'd like to play a game.
Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to check out my other videos on the channel, and don't forget to like and subscribe.